Hello everybody and welcome back to another action figure review. It's been a while, but I'm back here with a newly released figure. This is the updated Nazgûl 1/6 scale figure from Asmus Toys. I have previously reviewed the Mouth of Sauron as well as the Witch King from Asmus Toys, and they are very different in quality. But now let's take a look at this Nazgûl, beginning with the accessories. First, 3 pairs of these heavily armored hands. 1 pair of fists, 1 pair of open hands, and 1 pair of gripping hands. Then we have 3 weapons, a dagger, a steel sword, and the Morgul blade in the hand of the figure. Of course, we have the figure itself and then a figure stand. There is a belt on the figure, so if you want to put any of these blades on the figure in the belt here, it's possible. If we take a look at the figure from the side here, it is obvious that it's a very heavily armored figure. This armor is solid metal die-cast, and also his leg armor and boots, and all in all it makes it a very heavy figure, but it looks cool and it feels cool that there's some real weight to the figure. And besides the armor here, it's mostly ragged and torn cloth all the way up, and that creates that very iconic and cool Nazgûl Ringwraith look. I don't own the first version of this Nazgûl figure, so I was a bit curious what is actually inside. But there is nothing. And of course it is a wraith, so technically there should be nothing behind the armor and the clothes. One thing I should mention is that it's not the easiest thing to switch out the hands here, because they are very pointy. So when you want to push the hands into the pegs, there is a risk that you could damage your fingers. So be careful when you switch out the hands on this Nazgûl. And the same with the weapons here, they are pointy, so be careful. A closer look at the base here reveals that it's a step up, in my opinion, in quality. It's more detailed and feels more solid than the Asmus Toys stands and bases that I own. So this one looks pretty good. I really like the dirty and weathered look of the armor and the clothes. And to me, this is just what a Nazgûl really should look like. And that is also my main reason for getting this figure. I think the Nazgûl Ringwraiths here are iconic in their evil, menacing look. So to me, they are just a very cool looking grisly figure on the shelf. The articulation of the figure is decent. There are double jointed elbows and knees, but I am very careful when I articulate this figure. It's extremely heavy, and when you pose it on the shelf, be sure that it's safely secured, because if it drops down, I think it could be severely damaged. One thing that is a bit tricky to pose is the head here, because you can't really grab any head, so you have to twist the whatever it is part of the cape here, and then you can pose and move the head. But it's a bit tricky. And the same goes for the armor parts. Asmus Toys has engineered some of the armor parts here to be movable, so when you bend the knee, the armor will move and bend with it, which is a great way to avoid the articulation being hindered. And here we have the Nazgûl next to another heavily armored figure, General Zod here from Hot Toys, and they are in the same scale and just about the same size. So for now, I am going to leave you with my opinion about this Nazgûl figure from Asmus Toys, and then I'll conclude this review. the Nazgûl is an iconic movie character, and I am a huge fan of Lord of the Rings. So if you, as me, is a fan of this kind of fantasy and you would like a cool looking villain on the shelf, I highly recommend to check out the newly updated Nazgûl figure from Asmus Toys. It's not without flaws, but it's still great looking, and I'm happy to be able to pose it on the shelf. Thanks a lot for watching. Leave a comment and subscribe if you'd like to see more.